I'm Daniel. I'm 17 years old, and I live with my dad in a small apartment above his shop. My dad owns a hardware store, and I help him there after school. Most days are quiet, simple, and maybe even a little boring. But one day, everything changed. It was a Friday afternoon. I came home from school around 3 o'clock. My dad asked me if I could help in the store for an hour while he went to the bank. I said yes, and he handed me the keys and left. It seemed like a normal day. The store was empty. I helped one or two customers and then decided to clean the back shelves. There were old boxes, tools, dusty corners, and a few spider webs. I turned on the light in the back room and started working. While moving an old wooden box, I heard a loud crash. A big metal ladder fell behind me. I jumped in surprise. The ladder didn't hit me, but it blocked the narrow path between the shelves and the door. I tried to move it, but it was too heavy. I told myself to stay calm. I would just go around and exit through the front door. I didn't know that things were going to get worse. After 10 minutes, I heard a soft click. I went to the front of the store. The door was locked. My dad must have returned, thought I had gone home, and locked the store from the outside. I shouted his name, but no one answered. I pulled out my phone to call him, but there was no signal inside the store. I walked around, held the phone high, tried standing near the window, but nothing worked. I was locked inside the hardware store, alone. I felt my heart beat faster. I didn't know what to do. I walked up and down the aisles. I knocked on the door. I shouted again, but the street outside was empty. Then I stopped and took a deep breath. "Okay, Daniel," I said to myself. "You're not in danger. You're just stuck." I checked the back door. It was locked too. The windows were too small. I couldn't climb out. So I sat down on the floor and looked around. The lights were still on. I wasn't cold, but I was getting hungry. I found a flashlight in one of the drawers. Then I opened the mini fridge behind the counter. There was a bottle of water and a small bag of chips. I smiled. "Dinner is served," I said. I found an old sleeping bag and made a small resting spot near the counter. I used a toolbox as a pillow. I sat on the floor, ate the chips, and drank the water. I opened an old magazine about tools and tried to relax. Suddenly, I heard a noise. Tap, tap, tap. I froze. Was it a person? A thief? I walked slowly to the back room. It was just a metal sign swinging from the wind. I laughed quietly. "You're okay, Daniel," I said. "Don't scare yourself." I checked my phone again. Still no signal. I looked at the time, 8:30 p.m. My dad still hadn't returned. Maybe he thought I went to a friend's house after helping. Maybe he didn't know I was inside at all. I sat on the sleeping bag and tried to sleep. I wasn't very comfortable. The floor was hard, and the store was full of shadows and little noises. I closed my eyes and hoped morning would come quickly. When I opened my eyes, I saw sunlight through the small window. I checked my phone. 6:02 a.m. Still no signal, but at least the night was over. Suddenly, I heard keys. The front door opened. "Daniel?" It was my dad. He looked tired and shocked. "Why are you in here?" he asked. "You locked me in," I said, standing up quickly. He looked at me with wide eyes. "I thought you went home." "No. I stayed to clean the back room. Then the ladder fell, and then you locked the door." "Oh, no," he said. "I'm so sorry, Daniel." I was still dirty, tired, and hungry, but I felt better. We went upstairs. My dad made toast and eggs. I told him everything about the chips, the ladder, the wind, and the old sleeping bag. He laughed and shook his head. "Next time," he said, "leave a note." I nodded. "Next time, check the back room." That day, I missed school. I slept all morning and promised never to clean the shelves alone again.